Hello guys and welcome to a new video. Today I will show you how you can implement cool animation for your horizontal pager and Jetpack Compose for your Compose Multiplatform project. So first, I will demonstrate the animation concept here in my pager. For each page here, there are some of the elements that animates together. First is the title over here that will slides in and slides out. Vertically whenever the page selected or whenever the card selected, and also the text over here, it's rotated text basically, and it will animate with the slides in and slides out as well. And the image itself here, which represents the character for each card, which animate in pose, alpha, and position. So at the beginning it will be centered on the card and it will not be fully visible, and whenever is the page getting selected, the character will move outside from the card and also will come fully visible. So those are the elements that animate together to represent the animation in my pager. Before starting with the implementation, we need to download the project template first. I started with the Kotlin multi-platform wizard, and you have the option to select whatever the platforms that you need to include into your project. I selected the Android and iOS. You can for sure select the other platforms as well. But here in my project, I will work only with Android and iOS, implementing the same pager. And under iOS, you just need to make sure that you selected the Share UI, because that will leverage the Jetpack Compose capability to be used under iOS platform. And here you can give it a name. Let's name it Cool Pager and hit download button over here. And yeah, we're ready to go. And after opening the project that we have just downloaded from the Compose Multiplatform wizard, we will get to the Compose app, since that will be the directory that we will add our common code. We will get under source, common main, and here under Kotlin directory, we will be able to add our Jetpack Compose functions, which will be shared across our platforms. In that case, will be shared with the Android and iOS as well. And here under Compose resources, we can add the drawables we will be using for our pager. And the drawables that we need here is only for the characters that we are displaying inside the pager. So here, those are the three images that we will be using. Under Kotlin directory, we can then delete the default implementation for our application. And for now, we can make our application called the athlete pager. And that athlete pager would be the function or the composable functions that we would use to do our animation and include all of the work that we're going to do, and make sure that the material theme will open the athlete pager here. And one more thing that we can do here is that we can introduce the athlete model. It's data model that has the title, sport, photo, and page background color, which basically all of the components that we need per page to display our animation. And of course, for color and drawable resources, I wouldn't prefer that we add it in a data model, but I just made it that way for the ease of use. Usually I would do that with the composition locales, and I can show later how we can implement so in a different video. But for now, we added athlete that way just for the ease of use. And here in my athlete pager, I will add athletes list as one of the arguments. Here's our list. I will add the required import for all of the photos and all of the resources. Here we go. And here I will first add the box, and I will make it with a content alignment of alignment center, so I can center my horizontal pager on the center of the screen. Then I will add my horizontal pager here to basically it will fill the maximum width and contain a fixed page size, since I'm here displaying fixed size for each page, and with a content padding of a horizontal padding of 90 dB. And what does that mean is that there's a 90 dB here from the left side of the screen, and also at the end of the pager there's additional 90 dB here. And the state, which is basically I used the remember pager state, which requires account, and it would be for sure the athletes.size. Then I will add the athlete card, which represent each card itself. And inside that athlete card, I will also add a box taking the width with the same page or with the same width of the page here that I have defined on my horizontal pager, and taking the height with the 300 dB. And inside my box here, I will add the card, which represents the background with fill maximum size, so I can fill the 250 by 300 dB here, and with the background color of the athlete background color, and with a rounded shape of 16 dB as you see on my card over here. And here I will call the athlete card inside my horizontal pager, and it takes the athlete as an input. So I will get the input by the current index by calling the athletes of the specific index. Let's see how it works. So as you see, for now, all of the cards being displayed, but on my original design, there was some spacing between the cards, and for that I will add some padding over here from the end with 40 dB, just to make sure that there's some paddings at the end, and that would be the trick for that animation. So as you see here, the current page or the first page takes that whole space. It's from the edge of the blue card, so that white space as well is included into the box size, but the card itself takes all of the width except those 40 dBs that we have set it as a paddings, and that will enable us to move the characters or move the images outside from the card. Step here is to add the image for the character itself, and I will add it here just in the same box that contains the card, and it contains the athlete.photo, which we already set it before, and content description as an all, and with the modifier of size of 230. And I will set the box alignment to be the alignment at the bottom, since I want to display the photo at the bottom of the page. Let's see how it works. So for now, it displays all of the images, and the next step is to implement the animation. And to do that, I just want to have a flag, and that flag will tell which page is being selected right now. So for example, if that page is being selected, it will start the animation, and if it's being not selected anymore and the other page would be selected, the other page will start the animation, and the first page will take the opposite animation. In order to do so, I need to use the pager state. So I will add a var at a state out of the box container here for the pager state. And I will use that pager state here. And on the athlete card, I will add another argument. Let's say that it's selected. It's a Boolean flag. Let's pass it from here by saying the pager state.current page equal the index or not. And here, since I wanted that is selected Boolean to animate my image, I will set the offset, which controls the X value for my image here. We'll control it by the animatable value, and we'll listen for as selected in a launch effect. And once it happens, I will change that animatable value. Let's start first by adding the animatable value itself. And then I will take the value here and set the modifier with offset. We'll take the X value.db. What that means is that the offset initially here was set to be minus 20 dB, so it will get into the opposite direction of X, so we'll get it into the left direction. Let's see how it works. So it gets a little bit to the left side, and what I want to do is that when it's selected to change, I will push the image to the right side. Let's add the launch effect. and it will take the key as he is selected. And inside the launched effects, I will launch a coroutine, and that coroutine will take care of the image X offset. So if it's selected, I will set the offset value to be 30F, so it will get a bit to the right side. And if it's not selected, I will set it to -20, which is the default value here. I set it to the image X offset, so it will get a little bit to the left side. And that animation would happen with the tween of 1 second. Let's see how it works. So as you see, the images start to animate to the right side, and here the same, here also the same. We can play around with that value. Let's set it to something like 20F. Here we go, here we go. Nice, it looks nice. Okay, and I noticed something wrong with my drawables. I will fix it right now with setting the content scale of the content scale to crop. Now it looks perfect, all of the image aligned at the bottom of each card. Following the same concept, I will add the alpha the same way that I made it for the offset value. So here's my image alpha. It's been set to be 0.5F, which means it's half visible. It's not completely visible. So I will use the image alpha over here to set it with the alpha value of the image. And I will add it as a separate coroutine to animate the value of the alpha, as I would like the animation for the alpha and the animation for the position or the X offset to happen at the same time. So whenever it's selected, I will set it to 1F, which means fully visible. And whenever it's not selected, it will be set to be half visible. Let's see how it works. Here we go. And you notice that the other image is not fully visible. Oops. Here we go. So that's the successfully animates both alpha and position as well. Our next step here will be animating the top text, which displays the sport. Here in my original example, we got the sport title here, displays as a slide in and a slide out vertically. And to implement this behavior, we will need to add the animated visibility. And I would prefer to add state first. So whenever is selected got a change, that state will change as well, generating a new state, and that state will be the input argument for our animated visibility. So here I will add the title state, and on my card component, first I need to add a column that would take the whole space. I set here the modifier to fill the maximum size, and I set the horizontal alignment with a start. And inside that column, I will add my animated visibility that will listen to the title state and will have the enter animation spec as the slide in vertically, and the exit would be slide out. And the text itself will be the sport title, displaying the sport title with some of the color and weight and text size configuration as well. And yeah, that would be for my text. Let's see how it works. So as you see, initially the text will be slide in, and whenever the page not selected anymore, it will slide out. Now, following the same approach, let's add the rotated text. Our rotated text here will display the athlete title, and it will slide in and slide out. In the same column here, I will add my text, and the changes that I have made here on the graphics layer is by setting the rotation Z for maybe -90 or 270, because the text, when the text ever start, it will be at 0 degree, then 90, then 180, then 270 if you're gonna rotate it with rotation Z. That's why I set the value for rotation Z here to be 270, and I add some padding, so the text will take some padding here from the left side from the card itself, and the rest should be simple, just like the other text. Let's find how it looks. So as you see for now, it displays on the left side rotated. I will add here the animated visibility as well, and I will add the text inside, and it will listen for the same title state. So it has no specific other reason to create any other state. So I will build on the same state. That state will animate both text together. And here I added the slide in vertically and the slide out as an exit animation. Let's see how it works. Well, it animates, but it animates in the wrong direction. And that happens because the rotations that we have made for the text itself wouldn't interpret to go from the bottom side of the screen and from the top side of the screen as well. And if we get to explore slide in vertically, we'll see that initial offset value here, we can override the initial offset value gets in the top side of screen and divided by 2. We can override that by setting the actual offset value of it. And the same for slide out vertically. Let's see how it works. Here we go. So let's explore it again. Our component here consists of 3 parts. The first one would be for the image X offset, the image alpha, and the title state. And here on the launcher effects, we got to animate image X offset by listening for the selected, and the same happen with the image alpha, and the same happen for sure with the title state as explored. One advice that you can do whenever you find that there's multiple coroutines here, to use the update transition, I will add it here as a val, and I will call it athlete transition. And here I will add the image X offset, and it will be delegated by the athlete transition that animate float. It would work the same way as we want. It has a transition spec, which is a tween of 1 second, and it has a label which we should provide just to distinguish that transition from the other ones, and the target value by state, which actually passes the state that being passed from the update transition itself, which in our case would be the selected Boolean flag. And whenever it's being selected, I will put the value, and whenever it's not selected, I will put the other value. And for the image alpha, I will add it the same way here. So image alpha got the transition spec, got the label, got the target value by state. So whenever it's selected, it will be fully visible. Whenever it's not selected, it will be half visible. So now I can remove those animatable object. I don't need it anymore. Launch it effect as well. And that should give the same results. Let's see. Oh, I see. Since I removed the state, I would use image alpha and image X offset the same way. Here we go. So that's a bit of advice to sync all of your animation in one place. You can use it. Personally, I find it's not a big deal if you have only 1 or 2 or 3 curtains, but if you find you got a lot of animation happening at the same time, it's better to use the update transition as a single source of truth that would initiate your animations for your items. And now let's give it a try and open the iOS application just to make sure that all of the things that we have implemented here works. And we can navigate to the iOS app and the iOS directory, and we will open it with Xcode. So here we go. I will try to run it on the simulator. So here is our simulator over there. And yeah, here we go. So that was all for today. I hope you like the content, and please let me know if you find it interesting to know more about the Compose Multiplatform animation, and if you wanted more videos on that topic. And please also let me know if you find any other topic in Jetpack Compose or in Compose Multiplatform to talk about it for the next videos. Thank you for your time and see you guys.